Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to the My Swim Pro Ask Me Anything Q&A. Today we're talking about what swimmers should do in quarantine. I hope everyone is staying safe. I hope everyone is staying healthy, staying inside, practice good social distancing. You know, it's a pretty crazy time that we live in. A lot of stuff is going on in the world, but hopefully everyone is staying at home, staying safe, and practicing that good social distancing. In today's episode, hello, let me know in the comments where you guys are coming from and if you have any questions, because today we are talking about what swimmers should do in the quarantine. We're going to be talking about different dryland training that you can do in your house, how you can focus on goal setting smart goals, so that way when the pools do open, you're able to get back in the water and get swimming. We'll also be talking about a few different things you can do to prevent injury, because it's really important that you take advantage of this time while you're at home and actually focus on what you can do to be successful, whether that's, you know, from a mental perspective, from a physical perspective, a whole number of different things that you can do, and also some different ways that you can focus your energy out of the water. So, you know, if you're like myself, you feel kind of weird, like you're used to going swimming, and now all of a sudden, like, oh my God, how am I going to deal with this? Like, it's been 2 weeks already, or 3 weeks. Some people have not been able to swim for like a month. So at this point, you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, like, am I ever going to swim again? So in this video, we're going to talk about all of those things, what you can do in quarantine, both from a dryland perspective, injury prevention. We're going to do a lot of different fun conversations today. Let me know in the comments where you guys are coming from. I can see all of it. So I'll be answering questions directly on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. Thank you so much for joining. Let me know in the comments where you guys are coming from. If you guys dig the shirt, I know it's backwards for a couple of you guys, but it says no pool, no excuses. I should grab the tank top so we can put a link for that. But I want to get right into the main topic here. Everyone's asking about dryland activities, different things that you can do in your house. So if you're a swimmer, and most of you are swimmers and you're tuning in from around the world to be here, thank you so much. You're probably wondering, how can I make sure I stay active so that way when I get back in the pool, I don't feel like a fish out of water, and I don't feel like all of my training that I've put in the last few months or years or wherever has gone to waste. So it's really important that you do the right dryland training programs. I would say the first step in all of this, if you haven't already done it, hopefully you're already staying active and you're already doing something. This isn't completely new to you. You're already involved and doing something. I recommend the first step is you find a routine. So it's really important that you have a schedule. So it feels weird because sometimes like Sunday feels like Tuesday, feels like Monday. You don't even know like what day of the week it is anymore, which can be really, really difficult. So it's really important to find a routine. Maybe it's when you wake up, you're going to do 10 push-ups. Maybe before you go to bed, you're going to do 10 squats. You're going to do 10 leg lifts. But you have a certain time set up. And even if your workouts and your routine actually changes, it's okay. What's up, Adam? Gabor, thanks for joining, guys. So even if your routine is going to be different, it's really important that you pick a schedule with your workout plan. So that way, you know, every single day or every other day, you have a schedule. We'll talk about the actual exercises that we recommend you do that are specific to swimming, that work on your body position, core posture, all that good stuff. We'll talk about that in just a second. But I want to stress the importance of step number one is get a routine. And another element to that is make sure you have a space in your house or outside that you can actually do this dryland training. So, you know, you want to make sure you have enough room so that you can spread out your arms, you can lie down, you have enough headroom above your head, so that way you don't hit your head on the ceiling or whatever it is that you're doing, if you're jump rope, whatever activity that you're doing. It's really important that you have a physical location in your house. And the second element, what's up, Brian? The second element that's super important, not only find a physical place to do your dryland training, but actually change your clothes. So that way, as if you go to the swimming pool and you change into a swimsuit, you need to have the same mindset. And that's what you need to do when you do a workout in your home. So you have to have a dedicated space. It could be in your room if you just live in a studio apartment, you don't have another room to do this. So do it right next to your bed. Have a dedicated space. Yoga mat, no yoga mat, totally doesn't matter. What's up, Adam from Michigan? Rachel from the UK. And Jacob from Poland. Hello, we have some people from all over the world. Thanks for tuning in. This is awesome. So I was mentioning you want to have a physical space in your house to do this dryland training, but you also want to change your clothes. You want to get your mindset in that workout position. So just like when you go to the pool, you put on your Speedo, you put on your jammer, you put on your swimsuit, the same thing needs to apply. And that way you're in the mindset of doing a workout. And it makes it so much easier to stick with whatever workout that you're doing. What's up, Charlie? Otherwise, if you don't change your outfit and you do the Dryland in like your living room, and that's maybe not the most convenient place, it makes it so much harder to finish the workout. So let's say you're gonna do like a 20-minute workout. There's a good chance you might give up and quit on the workout if you get tired, or you're like, you know what, I don't need to do this. But if you have a dedicated space and you have a dedicated outfit, whether it's, you know, yoga pants, shorts, tank top, this awesome My Swim Pro No Pool No Excuses t-shirt, whatever it is that you're going to wear, where you're going to do it, it's really important that you do that and you find a consistent schedule. I have a few people joining from Kuwait, from Egypt. Hello, assalamu alaikum, marhaba. So the next thing I want to talk about, so once you found your ideal location, you have a routine, you have a workout outfit, it's really important that you follow a training program. If you don't know, I'm going to give a quick plug for the My Swim Pro app. We do have Dryland training programs in the application. I'm going to talk about some really good exercises that swimmers need to follow when they're doing a Dryland training program. A lot of these are in the My Swim Pro app. I'm going to show it right here. So inside of the app, you should download if you haven't already. It's My Swim Pro, available on iPhone and Android. There's a lot of different workout videos, different technique. So, you know, everything from upper body, lower body, core stability. There's different training programs, walks you through the workouts. They're 20 to 30 minutes. There's 3 different training programs. I'll overview them really quick. So one of them is called Beginner Dryland Training. So Beginner Dryland Training is the fundamentals. So you're doing a lot of shoulder movements, focusing on shoulder stability. You're going to work on core stability, so doing things like a plank, basic leg lifts, and you're going to start to develop strength. Strength is really, really important for all of that. If you guys are wondering where this t-shirt, it's unfortunate that it's flipped. So this t-shirt is No Pool, No Excuses. We'll put a link for how you can get one of these awesome shirts. We're also giving away a shirt, actually. So the training programs that I just mentioned in the My Swim Pro app, if you log a workout from the My Swim Pro app and you share it on social media with the hashtag MySwimProStrength, we're going to be giving away an Apple Watch, and we're giving away t-shirts that are like this: No Pool, No Excuses. And the whole theme of this live Ask Me Anything is talking about how you can be active during the quarantine. We know you're not going anywhere. You're stuck in your house. I want to give a shout out to all of the medical professionals and, you know, the people who are on the front line. So, you know, we're battling where pretty much the world is at war right now. And so if you know anyone who is a medical professional, doctor, nurse, the pharmacist, the people who are delivering, you know, packages to your house, right? These people are putting their lives on the line, literally. So if you know someone, I want you who's doing this, who's a nurse, who's a doctor, they work in an ER, any of these essential services. If you know anyone who's doing that, I want you to message them right now. If you're on your phone, it's okay. Leave this feed and go and message them and say thank you. Come back to the feed. Come back to the feed after you've messaged them. But tell these people thank you, because they are the ones who are helping us. So we stay inside to help them save lives, right? So it's totally reasonable for us to stay at home. But while we're at home, no pool, no excuses. It doesn't mean we just sit around and do nothing. We have to stay active. We have to get a routine. We have to find a training program. We have to follow the program. The ones that I mentioned, so the first one was that Beginner Dryland Training program. So that's, you know, it's only 4 workouts. It's 2 workouts per week. They're like 15 to 20 minutes. Pretty beginner, basic, entry level. We have another training program. It's called Get Stronger, Swim Faster. These we're doing a lot more explosive movements. Not really explosive, but they're a lot more body weight intensive. So you're going to be doing like push-ups. You're going to be doing squats. You're going to be doing things like hip bridges. I'll put it right here. This is a great movement right here. This is a hip bridge. It works on your hips. These are all in the My Swim Pro app. There's instructional content around them. Another great exercise. Here's the Spider-Man push-up. This is a fun one. Put it right here. It's a push-up, and you bring your knee into your side as you do the push-up. This one's pretty good. No pool, no excuses. So these are all found in that second training program. So that's the Get Stronger, Swim Faster. That one is 6 weeks and it's 3 workouts per week. So those are about 30-minute workouts. I would recommend at least 30 minutes, at least every other day. The real challenge during this quarantine for a swimmer is you're used to doing this, aerobic activity. Swimming is a great aerobic movement. The water is 800 times more dense than air. And because the water is so dense, you get this great aerobic workout because your body is moving through the resistance. Now, the challenge that I'm experiencing, and I know all of you guys are experiencing, is the fact that now without swimming, you're missing that aerobic component. And you're never going to be able to replicate swimming specifically. You can do other forms of cardio. If you like to go running or you like to ride your bike, you can go for a walk. There's a lot of things that you can do to get your body active. I recommend you get your body active at least every other day for 30 minutes. Now, ideally, depending on your physical, fitness level, you can be active every single day because the reality is you're not leaving your house. So if you're not actually going anywhere, your body's going to be sitting, and you don't want to lose flexibility. If you're used to working out every single day and then all of a sudden you're sitting in your house and you're only exercising 30 minutes every other day, that's not really a lot. That's only 90 minutes per week. So there's no perfect formula of how much you should actually exercise. But I'll be honest with you, if you are used to just sitting in your house and not doing anything, your step count is going to be really, really low. So it's very dangerous for your health if you don't exercise every single day. It's super important to go out for a walk, do a little bit of Dryland, do something to get your heart rate up, because as a swimmer, you're used to that aerobic component. And if you just do Dryland every other day, you're going to be missing out. And when you get back to the pool, you're going to feel a little sluggish. I think everyone's going to feel sluggish. That's the reality. We're not going to pop in and break world records on day one when we get back in the water. However, you can improve your rate of getting back into swimming shape, and you can get back into shape really, really fast. You're going to shoot back into shape if you're active every single day, almost every single day. It doesn't have to be every single day. Adapt movements as you need to. The final training program I didn't mention is called Max Performance, and the name implies it all. Here's Max Performance. It's 4 weeks, 4 workouts per week. It is very high intensity. It's very advanced. It does work on all the swimming specific movements like shoulder stability, core stability, but it's really working on power. I'm going to go ahead and find, one of these advanced movements that it's pretty difficult. I won't show you a video, but my favorite is the donkey kick. It's where you kind of go down as if you're going to do a burpee, but then you almost do a handstand. You kick your legs up, and it's like doing a handstand. That's a very complicated movement. The video helps explain it, but you're doing stuff like that, and those kinds of movements are for more advanced swimmers. So that's the last plug I'll give for the MySwimPro app. Download it. Training programs, they're fantastic. If you log a workout, we're giving away these shirts. No pool, no excuses. They're pretty awesome. And then we're also giving away an Apple Watch. You have a few more days to enter that hashtag MySwimProStrength. I want to talk about goal setting, but before we talk about goal setting, I want everyone on the feed with me. We're going to do 2 things. We're going to do a Dryland exercise right now for your shoulders. We're going to strengthen our shoulders right now on the feed. And then we're going to do a breathing exercise. Let's do the breathing exercise first. Everyone with me, we're going to kind of meditate. There's a lot of stress in the world. My voice, I'm speaking pretty fast, so I'll tone it down. Here we go. Everyone take a breath with me in your nose. Out your mouth. In your nose. Out your mouth. After this, we'll be doing a shoulder exercise. One more time. Let's breathe one more time. In your nose. Out your mouth. Really good to expand the lungs. Feel that, feel the flow. All right, let's do a shoulder exercise. So I think everyone can see my shoulders. So we're going to work on your rotator cuff right now. This is something you can do sitting on a chair. You can do this standing. You can do this anywhere. And I recommend you can do this with no equipment. This is a great shoulder strengthening exercise. It works on the rotator cuff. So the rotator cuff is the thing that allows your arm to do this motion. So if you didn't have a rotator cuff, that's the thing that sort of connects on the inside your body to your arm. And when you swim, whether it's freestyle or anything, you can put a lot of stress on that rotator cuff from that repetitive motion. So there's a lot of ways that you can improve this. You can strengthen the back muscles and the shoulder muscles that support that rotator cuff. It's a very small, it's not like a bicep, right? This is like a big thing. You know what the bicep does. It allows you to do this motion. But the rotator cuff, it allows for this internal and external rotation of your arm. And so when you swim, you're putting a lot of stress on that area if you have improper technique, and you can have a lot of reuse injuries. So now the fact that we're not swimming is a perfect opportunity to build the right fundamentals of how you can prevent injury in the future and also keep your body nice and healthy. So here's how you do the exercise, okay? I want everyone to make a fist with one of your arms, and then you're gonna put your elbow at 90 degrees. So this is my arm. This is a 90-degree angle, not like this, not like this. It's 90 degrees. Can everyone see? 90 degrees. And then what's gonna happen is, I'm gonna face the camera. You're going to try and pull your hand outward like this, and your other hand is gonna pull it in. So you have like resistance both ways, but your goal is to keep it as straight as possible. And this is gonna work on the external part. This is an isometric external rotation. So we're gonna do this for 10 seconds. So you're gonna grab your hand, this arm is pulling this way, and this arm is pulling, and then we'll do it with the other arm. Okay, ready? We're gonna go 10 seconds, and pull. So we're gonna hold it. You control the resistance, try and keep it as still as possible. This is an isometric external rotation. And relax. Shake out your arm. That's good. You should feel that right here. Okay. So we're going to make a 90-degree angle with your other arm. And we're focusing on the rotator cuff underneath the shoulder. So you're going to put your hand at 90 degrees. And then this arm is going to pull the opposite direction. And this arm is trying to pull out. We don't want the elbow to come away from the body. Keep your elbow in, 90 degrees, grab your hand, and then pull. 10 seconds. Here we go. Feel it. You control the resistance. Good. Good morning. Thanks for joining the live, guys. And relax. I saw Razan just joined on Facebook. What's going on? How you doing? Hey, Cenk from Turkey, from the Philippines, Cecilia. How you guys doing? Thank you so much for joining. So that was just a quick movement, an example of how you can do an isometric external rotation, no equipment. If you can do that 3 rounds, we did that 1 round on each arm. You should do that 3 rounds, and you should try and do that 2 or 3 times per week. And that'll help you strengthen the supporting region of the shoulder and help you prevent your chance for injury, strengthen all the right muscles. So that way, when you get back in the pool, you don't feel as much like a fish out of the water, and you can reduce your chance for injury. There's also the isometric internal rotation, which is the same thing, but instead of like pulling and pushing, you just flip the orientation. So you have your arm, and then you're going to push, and then you try and pull that resistance. Hello from Algeria. Bonjour. Marhaba. So we have from Argentina, from Brazil on Instagram. How you guys doing? Thanks for joining the live. The goal of this is to talk about, hey, Kyle, what's up, man? We have a lot of people joining from all over the world. This is a lot of fun. A lot of questions about the No Pool, No Excuses t-shirt. So I did mention we are actually giving these away. You can buy them. We put a link in all of the socials. You can buy all of this swag, but we are giving them away. All you have to do is log a workout with the hashtag MySwimProStrength, right? MySwimProStrength. And then we're giving away an Apple Watch in a few days. So if you want an Apple Watch, make sure you log a workout. We have a whole blog. What's up, Jim? I want to circle back to different Dryland exercises. I want you guys to let me know in the comments, what is your favorite Dryland exercise? So if you're a swimmer, which I think all of you guys are, tell me in the comments, what is your favorite Dryland training exercise? I'll tell you for me, from a swimming perspective, I think the plank is probably the best Dryland. If you can do a plank, that's fantastic. I believe that is the best Dryland training exercise. And the reason why is because it works on a few different elements. Number one, it's a total body movement. So that's a lot different than doing like a curl. So let's say you were going to do a curl. Here's my friend, Mr. Teddy. Everyone wave to Mr. Teddy. What should we call this guy? Isn't he so cute? Look, he's got like a bow tie. So anyway, I only brought him in because he's a good prop. So if you're doing like a bicep curl, right? So if you're doing a bicep curl, this is only working on one specific muscle. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Teddy. Everyone wave to Mr. Teddy. Hi, Mr. Teddy. So we'll put him, well, actually, we'll leave him in the frame because he's so cute. So if you're doing a bicep curl, okay, you're only working on one movement. When you do a plank, it's a compound movement. It's kind of like doing a squat or kind of like doing a pull-up. So when you're doing a plank, you're able to engage your shoulders because you have to stabilize your body. You're using your entire core, and that's the top of the core. So that's like the top of your body all the way down, through your ribs, your abs, your hip flexors. All of those stabilizers are engaged. And the plank, if you think about it, it mimics the body position that you have when you swim. When you swim, you want your body flat. And when you do a plank, you're basically training your body how to maintain that posture. And when you fatigue in swimming, you're actually going to low in sync. Swimming is hard. Like swimming is not easy. So as you get tired, your body actually starts to sink. And a plank will strengthen the supporting muscles that allow you to maintain a higher body position. So let's see what some of the favorite exercises are from people on the feed. I'm going to go through channel by channel. The Teddy is gangster. What's up? Oh, we'll go Instagram first. Don't worry. If you're watching on YouTube and Facebook, we'll get to you guys soon. Let's go Instagram first. Push-up Teddy. Okay, you guys want to see a push-up with the Teddy? All right, Mr. Teddy's doing push-ups. I don't know if Facebook can see this. He's doing push-ups. Look at him go. He's killing it. All right, so let's see who else. So Mr. Push-ups. Hello from India. Burpees. Burpees are great. It's a great one. Hi, Teddy. Pike-ups. Ooh, pike-ups are great for the core. Cycling. Yep. V-ups. Plyometric push-ups. Plyometric push-ups are where you do like a clap between the push-ups. That's awesome. Hello from Chile, Mexico, South Africa, Portugal, Malaysia, Phoenix. Okay, that's good for Instagram. Let's go to YouTube now. Let's check out the YouTube comments. Susan, thanks for info about the plank. You bet. I like, how do I dolphin? Adam, are you trolling the YouTube? I mean, Max Performance is a pretty sick name. Roberto from Italy, how are you doing? We got a lot of people joining in. I saw some exercises mentioned on Facebook. Yeah, Mr. Teddy needs to learn how to swim as well. But let's go to Facebook and, oh, sorry guys, my arm is in the way. Planks, push-ups, different rotator cuff exercises. Those are good as well. You know what, guys? While we're having a lot of fun right now, I'm gonna do an impromptu call. We're gonna call someone right now. I've got my phone out. Maybe Mr. Teddy can make a call, but here we go. I'm gonna hit up someone. Everyone, stay tuned. We're about to call someone live. We're gonna ask some swimming questions. It's gonna be great, and then we're gonna do some trivia. I have a few questions up my sleeve. Mr. Teddy is gonna get involved on those. One second. Let me pull up my phone. Let me type in the name. This is gonna be great. All right, I'm gonna put on speakerphone too, so that way you guys can. We're calling. Here we go.
Hey,
it's Charlie. What's going on, man? The call failed. What is he doing? We're gonna call him again. In the meantime, let's read some of these comments. Hey, Charlie, what's up? All right, so on Facebook, Jim Pogue is talking about TRX bands, crunches on the ball. Those are great. We're actually going to come out with some new Dryland training programs in a little bit. So, hey, you want trivia? All right. All the world is waiting on you, man. Mr. Teddy is going to be joining the trivia, but first we've got Charlie on the phone. Charlie, give us the 12-second rundown. Where are you calling from? What's up?
Yeah, 12-second rundown. So I'm the community champion for My Swim Pro. So whenever you message My Swim Pro and you need some help or some support, you just talk to me, which is a lot of fun. I've been swimming my whole life, took a break, and I got bit by an alligator once, and now I'm back swimming, training hardcore with My Swim Pro.
Okay, so Charlie, tell us, you communicate with the swimming community, swimmers all over the world a lot. Tell us what some common questions you've seen in the last couple of weeks. Swimmers are in quarantine, like, they're sitting at home. Luckily where I live right now, it's a sunny day, so I'm about to go for a walk. It's going to be great. But, for people who are at home, like, what are the questions that you're hearing? And I'll see if I can answer some of those.
Yeah, definitely. This has changed swimming for a lot of people and caused a lot of questions come up. Really, the most common question that I'm getting, and I think I get it about at least 5 times a day right now, is when pools reopen, where do I start back into my training?
That's a great question. So I'm gonna keep you on the line while we hop. What channel are you watching me on right now?
Well, I've got you on all 3 channels, but I'm looking up the YouTube right now.
I like it. Okay, so the question from Charlie that he's hearing, he said 5 times a day, and I'm sure there's more, is when the pools do reopen, how do I get back into it? I'm going to answer that question in 2 ways. So the first one is, what are you going to do in the meantime before the pools get open? So that way, by the time the pool opens, you're already in a really good position and you're going to rebound a lot faster. So that's part one. Part two is actually like when the pool's open. There is uncertainty, so we don't know when that is. So I'm going to come back to that. The first part is, what do you do in the meantime? So it's really important, I mentioned this earlier, that you're active every single day, because when you swim, you have that aerobic element. Your heart rate is increased. So even if you don't swim every single day, if you were used to swimming 3 times a week or twice a week, you're getting a lot of aerobic training. So the only way you can do that out of the water is by being consistent. So step number 1 is figure out a plan. Do it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days a week. Try and be as consistent as possible. If you can incorporate cardio, like riding your bike, going for a run, that's fine too. But it's really important that you do some kind of like higher intensity interval type training, like the workouts in the My Swim Pro app, the Dryland training workouts. Those are great. So that's part 1. Part 1 is stay active. Don't sit on the couch and gain 10 kilos in the next month. That's like the worst thing you can do. Don't be a couch potato. It's good that you have a break. Like, that's not actually that bad, but it's bad if the break is like 2 or 3 months and you don't do anything. We don't want to do that. That's what we want to avoid. Part 2 is when you get back into the pool, which we're not sure yet when that will be, but let's say it's in a month, 2 months. So we've been out of the water for a pretty good amount of time. So your feel of the water is not going to be what it was if you were used to swimming every single day. I think the most important thing with that is your expectation, because if you expect to swim the same way on day 1 and swim just as fast and have the same feel of the water as the last time you swam, you're kind of setting yourself up for disappointment. So I don't want to sound too negative, but what you need to do is you need to adjust your mindset. So that way, think about how amazing of an opportunity it will be when you get back in the pool. I know everyone watching will be so excited when we get back to the pool. So like the first time you swim, don't worry about how much distance you swim, how fast you go. Just take a moment and appreciate the fact that you are going to enter the water. It's going to feel so good. It's something you haven't done in a while. Like, just getting in the water will be a success because it's something that you weren't able to do. So that's step 1. Like, literally, if you can get in the pool at some point in the future, that's going to be amazing. Don't have any expectation of how fast you're going. Don't try and do any specific distance. Just get in the water, take a deep breath, smell the chlorine, and enjoy that opportunity and experience that you have to be able to go swimming. And then from there, we build off of that. So at first day, we literally don't worry about how fast we swim, how far we swim. That doesn't really matter at all. What matters is your health and the fact that you were able to do it. Day 2, also enjoy it. The fact that you're able to do it. Think about it. This is only the second swim you will have done in maybe months. That's amazing. And then from there, I think after you've got the first 1 to 3 days of just like getting in the water, swimming like 1,000 meters, 2,000 meters, you don't have to do a lot, just 500 meters. Just get in the pool and do anything. We do have training programs in the app that are for making a comeback, and we'll have more of those coming. So I definitely recommend following a plan that has a progression, so that way you don't just go from not swimming and then trying to do 5,000 meter workout. That's not going to happen, right? The rest of the world is in the same position as you. No one is really swimming. So it's not like you're going to be behind anyone. So there's no real urgency to try and like ramp up too quickly. So I would say the short version of answering that question, Charlie, I know you're being patient with me. Thank you. The first part is, just be active right now. You're not going to go swimming in the short term. You're not swimming today or tomorrow. So take that opportunity to build a schedule, find a routine, and stick with it. Step 2 is when you do get the opportunity to go back in the pool, it's be very appreciative of the fact that you can go swimming and then follow a plan that ramps up very slowly. There's no reason to ramp up quickly. There's no swimming competition in the short term. So everything that we're doing is for later in the year or maybe next year. So it's really important that we set up the right foundation now, so that way we're active, working on injury prevention. So that way when we get to the pool, whether that's in a month or 3 months or whenever that is, we have already positioned ourselves to do well. And then when we get back in the pool, just be so thankful of that opportunity. It's amazing. So that's a great question. What else, Charlie? Give me another question.
Yeah, so this one's a little bit more specific, but a lot of community members have been reaching out about it. So due to injuries, swimming has been their main choice of sport.
Yep.
But they're wondering, what do they do now? Because a lot of other things like running they can't do because of bad knees, or some dryland exercises they can't do because of bad shoulders. So kind of abroad, but what should they focus on out of the pool now?
Yeah, for sure. So a lot of people, they swim because they can't run for whatever reason, knee impact. That's why swimming is so great. It's the great thing and the bad thing about it. The great thing is that almost anyone can swim. It's low impact. We know the benefits. It's amazing. The challenge is if you take that away from someone, it's a lot more, you're in unfamiliar, uncharted waters, pun intended. So you're thinking about it. Okay, well, I used to swim because I can't run. Now what do I do? Because I have bad knees. I can't do squats. I can't do anything, jumping around. Maybe you can't do squats, but you can do something like planks. You can do something that works on your core. You can still work on your shoulder stability. If you have shoulder issues, this is the perfect time to strengthen your shoulders. We did that rotator cuff exercise. I'll demonstrate it really quick again. Mr. Teddy, you're going to have to get out of my way. So you basically got your elbow, 90-degree angle right here. And then you can do isometric, internal and external rotations. You don't need any equipment to do a lot of this stuff. You can do things where you do ITYW. You have your hands and a thumb. You lift your arms up. You make a Y. You make an I. You make a T. You put your hands right here. You make a W. Flex your shoulders, your back. So there's a lot of movements that you can do without impact that work on injury prevention. I do recommend a lot of core exercises. These are great things to do. In the MySwimPro app for Dryland training, we will have more programs available that take into consideration any injuries that you might have. So the two most common that we hear are something around the shoulders. Maybe you can't do push-ups or something like that. And then another injury or limitation that some people might have is doing things on the lower body. So no squats, no jumping around, nothing like that. So, that leaves the core. So, the middle of your body is something that we can work on. And there's a lot of variations that you can do all those exercises. If you have any questions, specific exercises or that pertain to you, just reach out to us directly at MySwimPro and we'd be happy to help you and figure out the right specific program. Even if it's just interpreting the workouts that we have in the program itself, the MySwimPro Dryland training program, or coming up with something that's more unique to you because you have specific challenges. Not everyone is the same. If you have good, if you don't have any limitations and you're in good health, that's awesome. Do the full workout plan, do the burpees, do the push-ups, do the squats. That's great. We know that not everyone is in that position, so that's a great question, and we are more than happy to work with athletes, with swimmers, with anyone, wherever you are in the world, with whatever it is that you have at your disposal, in your home, no equipment, no pool, no excuses. We're happy to help everyone. All right, let's do another question.
Yeah, so this one is a really great question, really cool. So this one talks about community. So a lot of people are asking, they're age group swimmers or they're master swimmers and they swim with teams, but now they obviously can't go to the pool and see their community. How can they still get that community feel during this time?
It's a great question. It's really important that we come together in this time because we were used to going out in public. We see our friends, our teammates. Even if you don't swim on a team, when you go to the pool, you see other people there, right? You see the lifeguard. Maybe there's a swimmer in the lane next to you. Maybe you have a lane mate, and you're not really seeing these people anymore, and that's difficult. I think the huge advantage of living in 2020 is we have technology, right? There's a number of ways that we can stay connected to each other. I think this video is a perfect example of that. I feel, even though I'm not immediately next to all the viewers that are watching right now, like Charlie, you and I are 2,000 miles away from each other, but we're talking to each other. So don't be afraid to leverage the technology. Join the MySwimPro Dryland training workouts every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern. We're going live. You can join the workout with me every single week. I think this is a great medium. DM us if you want to hop on a call and we can talk about whatever you want, swimming related. And then we also have a Facebook group And this is amazing. It's called, if you're on Facebook, and I know a bunch of you are because you guys are watching via Facebook. So join the My Swim Pro Global Community Group on Facebook and connect with swimmers all over the world. You know, age group swimmers, master swimmers, triathletes, people who have been very competitive, people who just learned how to swim. There's the whole range. You know, we have someone, you know, she just learned how to swim at the age of 45. Amazing. And then we have someone else who, you know, competes at Masters Nationals. And we have someone else who competed in the Olympic Games. We have someone else who just started doing open water swimming. You don't need to feel intimidated by any of that. Just know that everyone has a very diverse background, skill level, interest level. At the end of the day, we all do the same thing. We love going in the water. And now we're in a position where we don't do that together anymore in any capacity. So using digital tools like that Facebook group, these live sessions or anything like that is a great way to come together, participate in the challenges. You know, I mentioned the shirt like 7 times, but no pool, no excuses. Use the hashtag MySwimProStrength, connect with other swimmers, people who are doing Dryland in their house, and don't be afraid to be active in new and creative ways. You know, it's not necessarily community, but if you do something fun and innovative, maybe if you have kids, you do push-ups with your child on your back, you do Russian twists with a teddy or with toilet paper, right? You know, and do something fun and then share that in the Facebook group, on social media, hashtag MySwimProStrength. And that will allow you to be more connected and don't feel like you're in this alone. We're all in this together. You know, everyone is in it's a very interesting time right now. You know, I think this is really unique. For the first time in the world, you know, we're all disconnected but connected at the same time. And I don't think this has ever happened before. So if you're new and you're just joining this live session, welcome from around the world. Make sure you join that Facebook group, My Swim Pro Global Community. It's separate from our existing social media. So you guys are watching this live on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. So separate from the My Swim Pro social media, which I recommend you be subscribed on all of those, but join that Facebook group. Just listen to the community members, hear their stories. You don't have to be active. Just, you know, if you see something, give it a like. If not, just read it and appreciate it. Take it for what it's worth, but be a part of the community. Don't feel like you're isolated. Mr. Teddy is getting a lot of love right now. I was not really expecting that. Charlie, what's the next question?
Yeah, so another common question is, you know, I still want to be fast, you know, hitting personal best time before this. What do I need to focus on out of the pool to continue to be fast when I get back to the pool? That's
a fantastic question. I know exactly how to answer it directly. So listen up, guys. The question is, how do I improve while I'm not swimming, right? So maybe there are some things that you knew that you needed to improve when you were swimming, but now you have the perfect opportunity to work on those weaknesses that you had. So for example, let's say you always knew that you had a flexibility issue. You were not flexible. You push off the wall and streamline. Your shoulders are always really tight. And you know that your streamline push off the wall is not good because your flexibility is not good. Now, the fact that you're not swimming is a perfect opportunity to let your shoulders recover. You still do Dryland and you can still strengthen those muscles, but now you can stretch. You have the time, you have the opportunity. You're not going to be fatigued from swimming. So stretch every single day. There's a number of different stretches that you can do. That's just one example. Another example, let's say you knew you had a core weakness. You knew that, you know, your flexibility is great, but your core strength is weak. You cannot, you know, when you push off the wall and you do dolphin kicks, you just don't go anywhere. You got weak lower back, glutes, hamstrings, your hip flexion. You know, it's not good. And there's only so much time in the day to train. Now is the perfect opportunity to work on that weakness that you have, that now you can allocate the right time. There's different things that you wanted to work on. You just couldn't do it before. Now you can focus on that. So that way, when you get back to the pool, you've actually improved certain things. Yes, you may not have swum for 3 months, but you might have developed great flexibility that's going to help you immediately. You might have an improved core strength, and that's going to help you immediately with your body position, with your dolphin kicks off the wall. I mentioned it several times in this live, but when we're talking about shoulders, a lot of swimmers have shoulder problems. Now you're not swimming. You can do shoulder strengthening exercises, injury prevention 3 times a week, 4 times a week, and you can really put yourself in a position so that when you get back in the pool, you're actually better than you were before. And then another thing that's not really physical, it's the mental aspect of this, right? So, you know, everyone has different goals, different backgrounds. But there's a huge mental piece of this, and you can think about goal setting. So, it's really important to set smart goals. What is a SMART goal? It means it's something that's specific, measurable, attainable, it's relevant, it's time-bound, it's actionable. So instead of saying, I want to get better at swimming, that's not a SMART goal at all. It's, I want to improve my my strength to improve something else in my swimming. And by doing the My Swim Pro Dryland training program, I am going to strengthen my core by doing this 4 times per week. And by setting that SMART goal, you can work on improving your physical fitness, but you can apply SMART goals to your mental edge as well. Maybe this is goal setting. Like, what do you want to accomplish in 2021? So what is your goal? And how are you going to think about it? Maybe you want to improve your sleep. You want to get in a better sleep routine. You were used to only getting 7 hours of sleep. You want to get 8 hours of sleep, right? How do you set a SMART goal to be able to do that? And that will help you when you get back to swimming in a more normal swimming routine, because you will have improved your goal setting, your physical fitness, and your mental fitness. So apply that SMART goal setting to physical and mental. Try and improve something that maybe you were neglecting back in the day when we had pools. And so when you get back to the pool, it's not really something that you have to neglect, because you've already been working on it and you're actually in a better position than you were before. All right, let me get another question.
Yeah, we've been getting this one quite a lot. How do I pick a Dryland training that works for me?
That is a great question. So how do you pick a Dryland training program? I think you need to take a step back and evaluate where you're at right now. So if you've never done any Dryland, if you're used to swimming, you've never done any Dryland training, you can't do a push-up, you can kind of do a push-up, maybe you know what a push-up is. Then if you're early stage and you haven't done any of this before, I recommend the beginner Dryland training program. It teaches the fundamentals. You need to focus on technique. It's all body weight. You're not doing anything that is extremely challenging. Like, we're not going to ask you to do like a jump squat, if you know what that is, where you kind of jump up. You're not really doing any of that. You're focusing on fundamental things like the shoulder movement, where you raise your arms, focus on your breathing. So if you're a beginner, I recommend the beginner Dryland training program. Now, if you're a little bit more advanced and you know what a push-up is, you can do 10 push-ups in a row, whether it's on your knees or your upper body. And you're looking to you want to learn the fundamentals. You don't have a background in strength training. You don't go to the gym, a couple times a week. Maybe you've done some push-ups, maybe you've done some other things. Then I would definitely recommend our second training program, which is called Get Stronger, Swim Faster. That's a 6-week program, 3 workouts per week. It's amazing. Now, if you're in the category of, you can do push-ups, no problem. You're used to doing Dryland training. You're looking for a challenge. Your technique is already pretty solid. Maybe you go to the gym and you're used to lifting weights. I've got Mr. Teddy here. You can do curls with him. Maybe you've got a 20-pound dumbbell, 10 kilos, whatever. If you're used to doing strength training and weight-bearing exercises, then Max Performance is for you. 4 workouts per week. They're about 30 to 40 minutes. There is the strength component of stability, core, shoulders, lower back. You will do that, but Max Performance is way more of a challenge, because you've got some very dynamic exercises. So I do not recommend Max Performance for people who are just getting started. I would recommend that for the more advanced category. You already have a background, and now you're looking to take it to the next level. Charlie, give me another question.
Yeah. So this one actually just popped up on all the comments, and it's a pretty common question as well. As a swimmer, a lot of times our bodies use like 4,000, 5,000 calories, and we're doing a lot of yardage. Now that we're doing Dryland training, how should we change our diet or our food intake?
Yeah, your diet. This has been brought up a couple of times. So, and I'll answer this question, then I'm going to jump into the swimming trivia. So huge shout out if you guys have been with me for the last 45 minutes. Thank you for spending your time with me. So the question was about nutrition, diet, eating. So if you're a swimmer and you've been swimming, 3 times a week, 5 times a week, 6 times a week, and all of a sudden you're not swimming anymore, if you're not maintaining that same level of workout intensity, both from an aerobic perspective as well as a muscle engagement perspective, your metabolism is going to slow down gradually, right? If you're a male, this will probably happen slower. If you're a female, it's going to happen much more quickly. There's a number of different body factors that come into play here. But the reality is, if you're not active and you continue to eat the same way, and it's hard because, you know, you're sitting at home, the food is right there. The kitchen, I'm looking at my kitchen right now. I see the food. It is literally right there. It's very tempting to continue to eat like you used to eat, even eat more because you're sitting in the house potentially not doing anything. You have to be aware of that. That's step number one. Like, just know if you're not doing more exercise, you can't eat the same amount. Like, that's how it works, which is fine. If you do less exercise, not a big deal. Just make sure you throttle your nutrition. At this time, like I mentioned with improving your weaknesses, if you knew your diet wasn't that great and you were kind of binge eating a lot, now is a great opportunity to take a step back and think about, how am I going to improve my diet? Maybe, you know, we want to improve your strength, you want to improve your sleep, but let's talk about diet. Knowing what you're eating is really important. Meal preparation is super important. You know, some people, they plan out their meals for the week. They do that twice a week. They know what they're going to do from Sunday through Tuesday or Wednesday. They will prep again for Thursday through the weekend. I think this is an excellent opportunity and time to be able to do that meal planning. So that way it's not, okay, let's order a pizza. Let's order sushi. Let's buy a bunch of bread, right? It's being very intentional with your meal preparation. And from what I've seen, you know, I've you know, luckily been in, you know, pretty consistent weight. I haven't really fluctuated my weight at all. But I know from people in our community that have been able to lose weight and they've done the right changes, from what I've seen, a lot of it comes from meal preparation. Yes, you've got to be active, but you've got to meal prep. It's a formula. Calories in, calories out. If you know what you're going to be eating and you don't deviate from that, that's the best way and the simplest way, in my opinion, to lose weight or to maintain the form that you'd like. Again, consult with a nutritionist. I'm not a nutritionist, but that's from what I've seen. That's just my given advice. You know, figure out what your meal preparation strategy is. Eat the right foods. We have some articles on My Swim Pro about nutrition, so make sure you pay attention to that. Is that how was that, Charlie? Is that a good recap for you?
Yeah, I guess all the main key questions that you've been asking.
Fantastic. All right, we're going to jump into the swimming trivia. Thanks, Charlie. I'll talk to you later. Everyone say bye to Charlie. All right, thanks so much for Charlie tuning in from Austin, Texas. Give a shout out if you're from Texas. You might be near him. That'd be amazing. All right, so here's the question. First question of swimming trivia, and we're going to do a lot more of this. If you enjoy this, let me know. And it's going to be tough because if you know the answer to the question, let me know in the comments. You know, a lot of people are going to know the answer. You guys might be on your computer. You can look up the answer pretty fast. But, you know, try your best not to look up the answer while I ask the question. So the first question of swimming trivia is, here we go. There's a story behind it. All right, I'll read it. The greatest Olympian of all time qualified for his first Olympics in 2000. This is Michael Phelps, by the way. He went on to win 28 medals, 23 of them gold. What event did he break his first world record in? So the greatest Olympian of all time, Michael Phelps, what event did he break his first world record in? I'm going to be reading the comments. Who's got it? Who's got the answer? The greatest Olympian of all time, what event? So on Instagram, 200 IM, that is not correct. 400 IM, that is not correct. He's good at all those. 200 butterfly, Jim Poe coming in clutch. Congratulations. So I'll repeat it. The greatest Olympian of all time is Michael Phelps. In 2001, he broke the world record in the 200-meter butterfly to become the youngest male ever to break a world record in swimming. He was 15 years old and 9 months. All right, bonus part two. Everyone is actually correct. He did break the world record in every event that you guys mentioned. So the 200 IM, the 400 IM, the 100 butterfly. He's broken the world record in a lot of events. The question was, what is the first event? So here's the follow-up question. What was his time in 2001 to break the world record in the 200 butterfly? You can be close. You know, what was the time? Was it 30 seconds? Was it 5 minutes? How fast was Michael Phelps at the age of 15 and 9 months? That is insane. All right, let's see the comments. Here we go. Yeah, 200 butterfly, correct. 200 butterfly. Jim Pogue, who got the question correct, he says 154 or 153. Pretty close. The correct answer is 154.92. So when he was 15, he went 154.9. That is still really, really fast. To be honest, that won't get you a medal in Tokyo 2021. That probably won't get you a medal. But this was 20 years ago, and he was 15. Amazing. All right, second question. Here we go. Trivia. My Swim Pro swimming trivia. What year is the year, a date, was the 15-meter rule applied to competition? So everyone, in swimming, whether it's butterfly, backstroke, or freestyle, there's a rule that says when you push off the wall or start, you can't go more than 15 meters underneath the water. What year did that become instated in swimming? What year? 1968 from Parker. That is not correct, but we're in the ballpark, kind of. Anyone else? 1972. No, a little bit later than that. It wasn't that long ago, actually. A lot of you guys watching were probably alive when this happened. I mean, I wasn't. To give you a hint, I was not alive when this happened. I'm 28 years old. I was not alive when this happened. 1967, 1981. No. So I'll repeat. The question was, what year was the 15-meter rule applied to competition? The correct answer is the 15-meter rule was applied to backstroke in 1988. And it was two people that really, made this happen because they were so fast underwater. It was amazing. So there were two guys, Daiichi Suzuki and David Burkoff. They had a lot of controversy in the Summer Olympics in Seoul because they would start the 100 backstroke and they'd go like 35 meters underneath the water. And then people were like, wait a second. Eventually, the best swimmers in the world are not even going to be swimming. They're just going to go underwater the whole way. So after the 1988 Olympics in Seoul, they applied the rule to backstroke. Interestingly enough, the rule was applied to butterfly in 1998. So it took a full 10 years for people to realize, oh my God, it's so much faster to go underneath the water. And now it's, as you know, it's been added to freestyle. So in backstroke, butterfly, and freestyle, you can't go more than 15 meters underneath the water. All right, here's another question. This one's a good one. Yeah, you were close. That was good. Okay. When was swimming first introduced to the Olympics? Ooh. When was swimming first introduced to the Olympics? What year? It's crazy what's going on right now because the Olympics was scheduled in Tokyo 2020. Let me know in the comments if you guys were planning on going. Now is 2021. So they moved it. The International Olympic Committee moved it 12 months. We'll be doing that in next year. We hope to see you there. But what year was the Olympics first added to the program? 1950. No, it was earlier than that. 1896. I believe that's correct. Let me just make sure. Correct. Yes, who got that right? Nicola, what's going on from Instagram? She nailed it. 1896, the Olympics was added to, swimming was added to the Olympic program. It's amazing. And Ricardo got it correct on YouTube as well. Excellent. Next question. Ooh, this is open water swimming. Who's a fan of open water swimming, right? So here we go. We're talking about the English Channel. What year did someone first do the English Channel crossing? So if you're not familiar, this is in the Mediterranean Sea. We're going from, UK and France, right? So this is pretty amazing. It's like 20 miles. It takes a long time. What year did someone first swim the English Channel? 1876. Oh my God, we're so close. Shout out for Hit Smiley. So close. Oh, it's not the Mediterranean Sea. You're correct. That's not the English Channel swim. I'm sorry. You're correct. 1995. No, it was way earlier than that. Atlantic Ocean, correct. Yes. Yeah, that was my mistake. You guys are right. 1875. That is correct. So the first person to do the English Channel swim was Captain Matthew Webb of Great Britain. He became the first man to successfully swim the English Channel without assistance. So I think people have done it, but they weren't doing it, in proper form all by themselves. 1875. Can you imagine? Just think about it for a second. Can you imagine in 1875 swimming for like 20 hours continuously in uncharted. No one's ever done this before. People were not as fast as they are now. There's way much. See it, Jim. There's so much unknown in 1875. So this guy, he did it in 21 hours. August 24, 1875. Like, wow. That's like crazy. Just think about it. Okay, final question. This is a tough question. This is for all the swimming nerds. If you're a real swimming nerd, you're going to at least kind of know the answer. If you don't know it exactly, you'll be in the ballpark. Okay, final question here for trivia. And thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it. Here we go. The current world record in the women's 1,500 meter freestyle long course meters. What is the world record in the 1,500, the mile in swimming, long course? And so what is the record and who has it? Two-part question. Who has the world record in the women's mile? All my swimming nerds, come in clutch right now. 24. No, come on, guys. Who has the world record in the women's 1,500 long course freestyle? All my swimming nerds. Becky. Ledecky. There it is. Ledecky. That's the difference. So we're not talking the 400, Lynn. We're talking about the 1,500, but Ledecky has the world record in all of those. Correct, Mel. Yes. Katie Ledecky. Yep. Katie Ledecky is the world record holder. Okay, part 2 to the question. There's actually 3 parts, but part 2, what is the time of the world record? It's pretty specific. Ledecky's a beast. Yeah, we know she's a monster. She's awesome. Okay, so the world record time is 15 minutes and 20 seconds, 0.48. I want everyone to take a second and understand how fast that actually is, right? For all of my friends in America, the United States, we're talking about meters right now. So to go 15 minutes and 20 seconds in a 1,500 race means we're averaging 1 minute and 1 second per 100 meters long course. Like if you're a guy or a girl and you can go 1 minute and 1 second in 100 meters just for one of them, like guy or girl, like you're really fast. Like you're already faster than most swimmers. Now imagine doing that 15 times continuously. Like, my God, like, I mean, I'm a male swimmer. I'm a pretty decent swimmer. I can't even do that for 200. Like I can barely do that for speed for 100 meters. Like that's insane. So huge shout out to Katie Ledecky. She's a stud. Okay. Part 3 to the question is, when did she break this world record? And it's actually a really interesting, it wasn't at the Olympics. It wasn't at the World Championships. She broke the world record May 16, 2018 at the Tier Pro Series in Indianapolis at IUPUI. Like, so she broke the world record at an in-season meet. So I want everyone to kind of wrap their head, for all the swimming nerds. This is insane to go a 101 pace for 1,500 continuously in season. And, the woman versus men, like that's a fast time for a guy to go. Like most elite guys can't even swim that fast. So she is really just putting everyone behind her. Like no one's even in the category. If you want to talk about social distancing, Katie Ledecky is the best social distance swimmer that the world has ever seen, hands down. And with that, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to this episode of Live Trivia. Again, huge shout out to all the medical workers, people, nurses, hospitals, all the people who are on the front lines. We really appreciate everything that they're doing. If you know someone, give them a huge thank you, and make sure you guys stay safe, stay healthy, practice your social distancing, and let us know if you have any questions. We will talk to you guys later. Hope everyone has an awesome, awesome day.